How's it going? This is the Housing Podcast. Your host, Tim McDaniel. Happy summer, guys. Happy summer 2023. We finishing up July, it's July 18th or something like that. But yeah, welcome everybody for joining us. Today's topic is let's vent. I'm sure everybody busy right now in the summer, got a lot of activities planned, business planned, and just life is happening, and I just want to give my condolences real quick for everybody in the H-Town and Vegas and all these hot locations, man. It is burning up out there, man. I was out there in Houston for the 4th of July, and I just wasn't ready. So, kudos to everybody in those hot locations. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. But let's get to this, man. Let's vent. Vent with me. So, it's a lot of things going on right now in the marketplace. And one of the things I wanted to share was that it's all gonna be okay. It's gonna work out, right? So let me just say that again. There's a lot of things going on in the marketplace right now, but I just want to let you know it's okay. We're going to be all right. Right. And I'm really telling myself this. So that's why I'm telling you, this is an opportunity to vent. Right. Because I don't think as business owners, as professionals, whether you're in the housing industry or, you're running your business in whatever industry you're in, that sometimes you just feel imbalanced. Right. And I think it's okay to vent. So, join me, come with me and let's vent together. So some of the things I can imagine maybe that's going on is that maybe you're sacrificing, you're putting in a lot of effort and work, and maybe you're not seeing the fruits of those labors yet, or maybe the people that's surrounding you isn't validating or supporting you with your goals, or maybe all those extra nights that you stayed up working on a project and still to be felt left behind or still behind your project. It's okay. It's all okay. Right. So I just want to remind you, as a housing professional, as a business owner, right, we want to promote and we want to also just give the reality of what's going on. Right. There's a lot of pressure. Right. If everybody can do it, they would. Right. So, I'm a firm believer that you will never get more responsibility placed on you than you can handle. So let's vent. Right. So here at your housing podcast today, right, I just want to get some scenarios that, maybe you're experiencing and that, it's okay to vent about. Right. And so let's discuss maybe some other things that's going on in the marketplace. So in the summer months, a lot of people, it's kind of weird when it comes to housing. Normally it's like a booming time, right? You got everybody kind of freed up, looking for housing and stuff like that. And so normally it's a very competitive time in the marketplace to find housing. And then also it's a very good time, right? If you're a seller or something like that, looking to get the highest bang on your butt, to sell your property or release your property, this is also a good time, but, at the end of the day, if you're not getting the momentum or the results that that you have planned for yourself, right? It's okay. The year isn't over, right? We still got about 5 months left in this year, right? It's July. We're going into August, then September, October, November, December. And guess what? 2024 is right around the corner. Right? So I just want you to prepare your mindset right now. Just prepare your mindset right now. 2024 is my year. 2024 is my year. But guess what? We still in 2023. So guess what? You gotta already get your mindset ready that, hey, 2024 is gonna be your year. And so you want to already start acting accordingly. Okay, because the last thing you want to do is to get into 2024 and you not be ready for those opportunities. Right, that you're being prepared for right now, right? So this is a test. This is a test before your testimony. So I want you to take these situations that's going on in the marketplace right now and just vent a little bit, right? Right. Join me on the next podcast, right? We're gonna do a couple of episodes on this because there's a lot of pressure on us entrepreneurs. There's a lot of responsibility as a business owner, right? It's not just you, right? Most of the time, if you're a business owner, you got staff. Right, so you're responsible for their, for them and their roles and making sure they're being treated with the value and respect they deserve, working with you, and then also making sure the job gets done, right? That's why we're in business. The work still needs to get done. And I just want to like take this time, right? We're talking about Vent, but I just want to remind you, like, you're dope, you're a champion, right? You're doing your divine design, right? You're doing what you're supposed to do. And it's hard because everybody can't handle it, right? And that's why it's hard. It's hard because you have to build up the muscle, you have to build up the endurance, because it's going to get harder, right? And the reason it's going to get harder is because that hard level that you're going to be surpassing, you're going to help the next person get over that hard level, right? So take this time to just enjoy the journey, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to give those instructions, those blueprints for the next generation, for the next leaders, right? To get over those hard levels, right? So if it's hard, right, then smile, because that means you're on the right track, right? It's going to be harder and then hardest, right? We look forward to that, right? So I just want to take this time to say, man, keep and queen kings, like, keep going, keep pushing. You're almost there. Like, I'm sure you feel it. You see the light, right? All you got to do is see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's all you need, just a little bit of light, right? And if you walk towards it, the divine design is going to meet you halfway, right? It's going to meet you halfway. You put your foot down, and that step is going to be right there, that foundation. So keep going. I just want to, let you guys know, hey, it's okay to vent. And Housing Podcast, I just want to let you know, give you the reality of the situation, right? It's okay. Like, we all going to deal with it. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep pursuing your dreams, right? For those that get it, right? Give them kudos, right? There's not a lot of people that's going to get your vision, right? So bring those people in, right? Bring them close and try to value them as much as possible, right? Set a time up once a month where you meet with these people. Be intentional about what you need on this level, okay? Like, it's not going to be a lot of fanfare. You're not going to get, everybody calling, checking on you like you probably want to, but at the end of the day, like, this is your blessing to be able to go through this journey. And so, like, all the good things, the reasons why you started your journey, right? Just in terms of like your passion area, you are passionate about your business, right? If you're in the housing industry, maybe you're passionate in seeing people get their keys for the first time, right? If you're, if you're like a homeless advocate, the reason you got into it is because you got tired of looking at people that you knew on the streets, right? And you call them your neighbor, right? You know them by name. Maybe you know their family and where they come from. You know their story, right? Don't forget about that, right? There's a lot of things going on, but don't forget about why you're doing what you're doing, okay? And so we're here, Housing Podcast, but I also want to remind you, right? We have launched the Housing Business Owners Platform, right? We got about 6 members that's joined our elite level, which is the $800 level, and they're getting a lot of results, right? So that's kind of why I'm in this, feel of just like, hey, we're going through it together. Like, we're literally going through it together, right? And so, like, if you're a part of our community, you already know, hey, we're almost like business partners. We're allies. We vent together. We talk about solutions together, right? We work on projects together. Any challenges that we're facing, right? We identify those potential resources that can help us overcome together. And that's the biggest difference. I want you guys to know, the best thing you can do for yourself as an entrepreneur, especially if you're a solopreneur, you gotta tap into a community. Like, I'm sorry. I'm super sorry. I know you became a business owner to be independent and to do things your way, and not have to depend on people for the most part. And I commend you. I don't want to depend on nobody neither, right? But at the end of the day, we're all human, right? And whether we have a business or have employees, that's not going to change the fact that we're still human. So give yourself some grace, right? Give yourself some grace, right? And protect yourself. You have to take care of yourself, right? I'm sure a lot of talk about mental health, self-care, right? All those things I'm sure you've heard before, but I just wanted to remind you, let's vent. Like, let's get it out, right? Be honest to yourself, right? It's important to be honest to yourself because at the end of the day, you have to live with your truth. Okay. So it's okay to not be succeeding or achieving all of your goals at this time. It's definitely okay. Right. But at the same time, hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And for those that are already doing that, like I know it's not easy. I just want to be a reminder, a brother in arms. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like you're not the only one. We here together, and and it's gonna be okay. You feel me? 2024 is right around the corner, right? So I want you to start. I'm gonna actually ask for you guys to do a couple of things. One of the things that I want you guys to do is start your 2024. I call it war map, but some people can look at it like, okay, like an action plan, or what do you intend to do? Like, what are your goals? How do you intend to achieve it? What resources do you have? What resources do you need? Back in I forget when it was, 2008, I developed my first war map. Okay. And it was really, I attacked it like, I attacked it almost if you was to think of a war. Okay. When you think of a war, there's an enemy. Okay. There will always be an enemy in war. And so when I say put together your war map, right, I want you to think of who your enemy is. Most of the time, as an entrepreneur, our enemies are procrastination, our enemies are distractions, our enemies are lack of discipline. Okay. And so keep those three enemies in mind as you put together your war map. Okay. Because we have to go to war with ourselves. And I just like to, maybe give a couple of mentions to some motivational people that, I follow, that inspires me. And sorry if I can't remember the name. Maybe y'all can, help me think of it if I can't remember it. But maybe y'all know who I am. But one of them is, he called himself the toughest man in the world. He's like a Navy SEALs guy. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. Because right now I want to share some resources, man, to get your mindset right. And if you haven't downloaded the app Audible, I advise you to download it. If you love reading, then you will love it because it's full of books of audios. And if you don't like reading, you will also love it because you don't have to read it. You can listen to it. So let me just show you guys, man, a couple of things that's in my library. Okay, David Goggins. Oh, David Goggins. Can't Hurt Me. Right? Look at that book. That's the title of his book, Can't Hurt Me. That's one guy that I'm following. I'm sure you guys heard of Robert Greene, the 48 Laws of Power, right? He has a couple of books about, law principles. And I think it's important to develop some standards, some laws about how you go about living your life, how you go about, developing your lifestyle, right? And Robert Greene books, he's an author, will be a great resource to developing those policies in life. Here, let me find a couple of more for you. Eric Thomas. Thank God it's Monday, right? Energy, right? And he's one of the ones that, I follow. And, I'm sure you guys got some other people you follow. If you go to church on Sundays, I know a lot of that stuff has been put online, right? There's a lot of, people online like that I follow. I don't want to point no one pastor out because all the pastors are banging. All of the gospel teachers are amazing. I recommend, it's all a formula, right? So I gave you a formula of some business people. I gave you some formula of some spiritual people, some energy people, right? Pick your spiritual people, right? Pick. You have to pick and choose, but these are just some people that's kind of like they work for me. Let me give you one more. Okay, let's see here. And just so you know, how many books? I got 51 books right now on my Audible playlist. Here, let me give you one you won't think I'm going to be thinking about. Will Smith. He wrote a book a couple of years ago called Will. And he talks about his story, man. And I'm sure everybody heard about the slap, right? And he went through a process, um, you know, but I don't want to get distracted on the slap because that's easy. But I want to pause in that moment though, right? Because you had two successful people, that had a situation that occurred, and it wasn't good for either party. Okay. Now let's use that example in business. If you're in business right now and you're successful, or you're obtaining success, and you're doing business with somebody else, right? And say maybe you had a bad experience, or something happened and there's a disagreement, miscommunication. What do you do, right? How do you solve problems as a business owner? When they happen, like what are the steps that you take? Um, and I just want to pause there because there wasn't a lot of solutions being taken in that episode in which that happened with Will and Chris Rock, right? There wasn't a lot of solutions. There was a lot of media. There was a lot of talk about it. But that's the difference between them and us, right? We have to respond to our actions right now. Right now. There is no time period to figure out, whether or not what you did was right. It wasn't right, and so I wanted to start, thinking of yourself, man, as a human being. I want our housing professionals and business owners, right, to continue to label themselves as humans, okay? Because as people start giving you accolades, as you start achieving those goals, maybe gaining a little celebrity influence, remember you are human, okay? And mistakes will happen. And I want you to be patient with yourself. I don't want you to feel embarrassed by the situation or overcome by, the situation. I want you to already start thinking 2024 is my year. Mistakes will be made. This is how I will respond. Okay. And you're putting together your war map. Okay. And so as you put that together, I want you to reach out to us. Okay. Our email is at members@housingbusinessowners.com. And what we're doing is we're actually helping people put together their own map using our war map blueprint. Okay. And we're going to give it out for free. We want to share it, right? Because at the end of the day, we all need to war with ourselves a little bit, And so, it works for me. The blueprint that I use, it worked for a couple of other people that I shared it with in the past. And what it really allows you to do is be at peace with your lifestyle, right? It helps you make sure that the life that you're living is designed by you, okay? As you get into business and get busy, you want to make sure you're developing a life that you're happy with. The last thing you want to do is to start an entire business that you're responsible for and you hate your life. And if you're in that situation, it's okay. It's okay. There's a way out. There's definitely a way out. And the way out is through a war map. Okay, so I'm sharing that with you guys. Right, we vented a little bit. We talked about some stuff that's going on in the marketplace. We talked about some resources that, give our minds a little bit of strength and discipline and reminders of, hey, we're human. Yeah, man, I want to make sure going into 2024, because we're going into the fourth quarter real soon. Fourth quarter is right around the corner. Okay, and so fourth quarter is not how you start. It's how you finish. It's how you finish, right? So whether you're up on the scoreboard right now, you got to make sure you finish strong, right? And if you're down on the scoreboard, you definitely got to finish strong, right? No excuses. And it's all good. It's all right, right? We got your back here at the Housing Podcast, our housing business owners community. We're here to support you, develop some strategic planning going into next year, right? That'll give you a few months to stand. We can go back and forth, right? Because at the end of the day, you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So you want to make sure this war map, we put together all of the links, right? Links that you can hold yourself accountable, the links of your network, the people that you're working with, right? because I'm going into 24 strong. We got strong links, right? And one of the strong links that I'm gonna shout out right now is our studios, South Bay Podcast and Recording Studio. You know what I mean? Like, we're here. This is where we're at, South Bay Podcast and Recording Studio. If you don't know, now you know, man. We're here shooting quality content, right? And we're in the setup, especially for content creators. So if you're a content creator, if you're somebody with a message and you want to get it out, reach out to info@southbaypodcast.com or at Instagram at South Bay Podcast. So, I have you in my thoughts, right? All of our network, all of our friends, family, like, when I go about my day, right? I mostly want to make sure I'm in a good space, right? So a lot of times I go out on walks. That's a lot. That's kind of what I like to do in the morning. And before I go to bed, like, I like to stretch. Okay, that's something we all can do. There's some other things that I do, but I wanted to give an example of some things that most people can do to kind of like start the day on a good foot, right, and end the day, not tight. So you stretch a little bit before you go to sleep. Drink a lot of water, right? We gotta take care of ourselves. We human, y'all. we can't go without this human stuff. And here at the Housing Podcast, I want you to know, whether you're somebody looking for affordable housing, or if you're a business owner that want to take your housing business to the next level, the Housing Podcast is somewhere that you can go to get the information and resources you need to take the next level and achieve your dreams. So I'll stay here maybe for a couple of minutes. I think actually I'm about to go. I'm about to eat lunch, y'all. I'm about to go and be good to myself. I had a good breakfast this morning, and I'm gonna enjoy a great lunch. And I hope you do the same. I hope you're eating 3 times a day. I hope you're getting a chance to take breaks, right? And don't let nobody steal your pride. Don't let nobody steal your dream. And without further ado, that's it, man. I just want to thank you guys for joining us today on our Housing Podcast. Make sure you reach out to us at members@housingbusinessowners.com for that war map. And I'll see you next time. I'm your host, Tim McDaniel.